I guess I was kind of mad, and I just said it before you got on. The way Kozik went out, which is fine, right? Because it kind of references the Lem stuff, if you know the Shield,
Nah,
right?
it's stupid. It was fucking dumb. It wasn't fine.
It wasn't.
But anyways.
But it wasn't just stupid. In my mind, it wasn't really addressed in the episode. It was just like, oh, he's dead, and we move on, right? If it wasn't for Tig doing the stuff with the cut and like kind of showing his memorial to him, it was just like another day.
I poured a shot for Kenny. I poured a shot in his shot glass.
But yet, here's this character that for years, mainly season 3, we really fucking focused on, and it felt like we just kind of glossed over the death. Now, were you doing, because I know you were doing the show as a guest star, a recurring guest star, were you doing another television show? Like, what was the situation that it was just like, oh, I'm out?
All right. So the situation exactly, and I'll just say, because I don't give a shit, is like Landgraf and Sutter came on. Said, we want to write you at the end of season 2. I know you're still doing Saving Grace. When that gets canceled, you come on season 3. If it works out, we want to make you a season regular. And I see no reason why it's not going to work out. So I go on season 3 and it all is great. And I'm gelling with you guys and I'm having the best time of my life. And then I get an episode during the end of the season and it's written like, I say something like, sorry, guys, I'm not into it. You know, I got to leave. That's it. Right. And I thought it was a joke, but it wasn't a joke. And then when I kind of looked at Sutter and he looks at me, he's like, oh, KJ, don't look at me those puppy eyes. So, like, don't look at me like that. And I'm looking at him like, is he joking or not joking? So we did the read through and I just remember everyone kind of looked at me and I just did it. And I thought, I didn't say a word, and then afterwards Sutter came up and said, look, it's like, I just don't want to pay you any more money. That's what he said to me. And I'm like I said, whatever, man. I didn't say a word. So he rewrote it and then I was back in. And then he rewrote the end where I get patched in, but then he cut that scene out. It was the very end of, I think, season 4. And then he said to me, I just don't want to pay you any more money. And I was all like, well, or I'm making like no money right now. Right. And then I got an offer from NBC, Peter Berg, and those guys were doing a remake of Prime Suspect.
Right.
Maria Bello. But yeah. And it was originally Helen Mirren and Tom Wilkinson. And I was supposed to play his role. And it was a series regular. So I basically called Sutter up and I said, look, I would rather do SOA in a heartbeat. I love you guys. And I'll do it for half the price they're offering me. But you just honor what you said you were going to do. And he just shrugged and said, no. Can't do it, So I said, well, I got to take the show. And then when I did, he obviously was really not happy. So he let it be known that, well, Kenny Johnson's going on to this NBC show. It's going to fail. They're going to bomb. They're going to not go as a series. It's going to get canceled. And I'm going to have him back on the show. So when I went to go do that show, I got a lot of slack from their PR saying, well, what the hell is this?
Man,
I said, that's Kurt Sutter being
fucking
Kurt
business,
Sutter,
man.
Right? So then, they wrote basically after 10 episodes, they decided they're not going to go with the show. So Kurt had wanted to write me out of SOA and then write me back in once the show got canceled. And then for whatever reason in between, I found out, I had 10 days off and NBC said at the time, if you go back and do SOA, we're going to sue you. And I knew I didn't have an out on SOA. Like Kurt couldn't write me out to come back in. So I said, Kurt, they're saying they're going to sue me, but I will shoot this because it's you. And I'm not going to tell anybody. Let's shoot it. You can get me out of the episode or an episode, and then I'll come back in, if the show doesn't go. And he goes, perfect. And then apparently he just decided at that point, he wrote to this guy I knew really well that we're going to blow Kenny Johnson the F up again. Ha, ha, ha. And then this guy sent it to me, and I was just like going, you got to be joking me. So then when that episode came out, I just went into the writer's room in front of him and the writers, and I just said, this is effing stupid, man. I go, you didn't earn this. I go, people barely know me, and they're just starting to know me, and you promised me this one thing, and now you're going to kill me off because you don't want to pay me any money. I go, it's dumb. I go, the whole thing was, to me, it didn't make sense. And I was like, I said, I'll do it for half the price. And you're still saying no. And he just shrugged. He says, my show, I'll do whatever I want to do. And I'm like, all right.
And you know what, Kenny, the thing that in this business, because you and I have been doing this so long now, the thing that they can never take away is the friendships. You can't take the friendships away.
I love the Shield. Like I love the Shield and the writing and the relationship. But when I got on with you guys, I had more fun doing that show than any other show. I mean, because off camera, we're all trying to wrestle each other. You're trying to race me. You're running backwards, saying, "Oh, I can run faster than you can forward, Kenny. Like you go forward, I'll go backward. I guarantee I'll put up $1,000. I'll beat you." I'm like, "You're out of your freaking mind." It's like, "Are you kidding me?" I got, you know. So, but the thing was like, who's going to clothesline who? Then who's chasing Jax around? And then 5 people are wrestling each other. Who's going to pin who? I'm like, this is freaking insane. And this is all in between takes. But the thing is like, it's real fun and camaraderie, like you said. And I had the best time. And when I was devastated when I had to leave, and I think I was more, it wasn't the fact that I thought like, why is Kurt doing this? But, I didn't want to leave you guys. And I was having literally to get paid to do what we do, ride bikes, do these great storylines, and have these characters that are so kind of developed and still developing and going deeper. And it was just effed up and fun. And I didn't want to leave that. And I think that, I love Kurt Sutter. And literally every time I see him, I hug him, I kiss him. I'm like, he's still a great guy. He went through one of those moments where Kurt does what he wants to do. And it was like, he's like, he goes, "Yeah, I think the Shield people appreciate you getting blown up." He goes, "I think they'll think it's funny." I'm like, I go, "Bro, this sucks."
Didn't earn it.
He didn't earn it.